about their daily life without there being, casualties at the expense of their daily life, right? So somebody goes around that doesn't really impinge on another society, and they can live their life normally without harm to life or property.
Exactly my point.
Okay.
That's the definition of innocent.
That's the definition of innocent.
Master a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, just a second. So, 7th of October.
7th of October.
Please translate for me. Why are you not talking? Why are you not listening to me now? 7th of October. When the parachutes got down to kill men and women, and the woman, what Hamas was doing was that action towards innocent or not?
It was.
So it was action towards innocent. So
Wait, say it again.
It's like I said before. The IDF does not represent all of Israel. Hamas does not represent all of Palestine.
Hamas attacking innocents. Is that wrong? Of course it's wrong.
Of course it's wrong.
So Hamas, you are okay? Are you okay?
Who said I was okay? I hear when she puts words in my mouth.
Are you okay for Hamas to attack the innocent?
No.
You are
There's
not
no
okay.
need for the
Okay.
IDF to shoot
So,
people in Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Of
They did
course
it
it's
last
not okay.
Ramadan.
Of course it's not okay.
You
I am
condemn it.
Christian.
You condemn it.
So, I am
Yes, it is. You
Christian.
condemn it.
I stand against everyone who takes the life of everyone else. God gives life, God takes it away. That's it.
Is that not what I
So
said
now,
Is that not what I said by innocent?
So you are against Hamas. What Hamas does to innocent people.
I'm
Thank
against
you.
anybody that
Thank
points
you.
a gun towards another person.
So thank
my point.
Is that not the right thing to say?
So you especially use the word gun. Would you be against someone who used knife, for example, towards anyone?
Yes.
Any weapon, any weapon. Okay.
I like that point, mate.
No, I'm speaking to him now, just a moment. So, can you please take the opportunity and then in front of the cameras condemn the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, for what Muhammad did to Jewish people in Banu Qurayza?
How do you draw a link between the first point that you made,
Yeah.
right, which is condemning
does
destruction
Prophet
of
Muhammad
life,
do this?
right, condemning what Hamas has done, and condemning some religious, text, essentially?
The way you say, like, some religion text is their holy text.
Yes, but how do you take a leap from them condemning murder
So,
to them condemning part of their religion?
If he's condemning murder, so he's condemning also his prophet who is a murderer.
Sorry?
He's condemning the people, condemning his own prophet who is a murderer. You don't want to condemn the murderers?
Well, I think there's an opportunity to agree on something.
No. Do you think murderers should be encouraged?
They can do nothing about.
What do you mean they can't do
They
that?
can do nothing about what happened a long time ago. Okay.
They follow that example.
Right, but they don't follow.
Excuse me, sorry.
I'm saying I'm against murder. You're saying you're against Prophet Muhammad.
Listen to this.
Where do you draw the link?
Would you say
Step.
would you say you do not follow Muhammad to do everything?
Why are you
Would you
talking
say
about-
Muhammad is
I
not
follow
the
the
best
Quran.
example?
I follow the Quran.
Sorry?
I follow the Quran. What about you?
You
Do you
follow the
support
Quran.
Israel? Do you support Israel?
I don't support Israel. Why should I
So
support
why are we
Israel?
arguing? Why are we
We are
arguing? If you
arguing
support
because
Israel,
there are terrorist organizations
Yes,
who are
yes.
taking
And
the
there's a
lives of
militant
other
on the
people.
right.
So that's not Hamas. The group who is screaming over them.
I'm going to support her point here. Can you see that there's a difference between going into a country and intending to harm civilians and civilian casualties as a byproduct of, let's say, missile strikes, targeted missile
Yes, of
strikes?
course. You see, my point
You think they
is
are
that for the
different?
past
Taking
70
the life is
years,
different? Which world do you live?
Yes, there's a difference between manslaughter and murder. I live in the real world.
I'm trying to tell her. Israel bombs.
There's a difference between. Do you acknowledge that?
Going out like this for hours. I don't know.
Okay, listen. I don't need your text right now. Can you hold on?
I want you to read this to me.
No, I don't.
I want you to read this to me and then tell me if you are okay with this or not.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
I want you to read this and then tell me if you are okay with this or not.
See a label.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Go on.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Semantics.
I want you to read it and then tell me if you are okay with it or not.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
Fight against those who do not believe in Allah. This is the Quran, is it? Is it the Quran?
Doesn't matter what it is.
It does matter.
It does matter. If it's not even...
Also, if it is Quran, are you not going to condemn it?
If it's not a kitab,
Firstly,
it's not the Quran.
I'm not asking you which religion you follow.
read it
Which
then.
religion you follow. I am asking you, are you okay with such a verse? That's all I'm asking you.
Right, with a verse, right. You asked me to condemn a certain verse. Okay.
I just wanted to first read it and then tell me if you are
Against those who
okay.
do not believe. By the way, there's a reason that
So, all I'm asking
Muslims
you...
don't have translations. They read Arabic, yeah. But I will read the translation. Let me have a go.
Wow.
Let me see.
It's good to meet with the defenders of Islam.
I'm going to defend what I think is fair.
Yes, you just read it.
Based on the religion. Fight against those who do not believe on the last day, who do not consider laws to have made. I mean, I'm Catholic. That sounds very close to what the Catholic Church has done for a long time, quite frankly.
So my question is, are you okay with this?
Well, I believe, you know, in terms of...
I'm not asking you.
No,
what
there
is
is
it?
violence in there.
Are you okay with that violence?
What do you mean by okay? Define okay.
Are you okay?
Am I accepting
Are you okay for
that?
people to follow such a teaching? Are you okay for this to
Listen,
practice?
no one in this world is perfect, right? No text can be, you know, can be...
It says the same in the Torah.
Right, so I don't, in my viewpoint, no text can be... you asking for my
Do
opinion?
you want people
Are you
to
asking
follow
for
this
my-
text?
Are you asking my opinion?
I am asking
My
you to
opinion,
tell me
my
if you
opinion,
want people
there
to
is
follow
no
this
text in
What
my
is this
opinion
text?
that is flawless. There is no person that is flawless, in
That's
my
not my
opinion.
question. Are you okay for people to follow such a teaching?
If the pros outweigh the cons, then yes, probably.
Yes, okay. Are you okay for people to follow such a
I
teaching?
said if the pros outweigh the cons. This is in English. It's in English.
Okay, what is Arabic saying? Speak Arabic. Let's hear the
I
magical
don't know.
Arabic.
I'm 16. I'm not a Hafiz. I'm not a Hafiz. Do you know the Quran? Do you know the Quran? Do you know the
Guys, we're not getting anywhere. I want to talk
I
about
want to-
Palestine, Israel.
Exactly. We're talking about Palestine, Israel. You brought a book that you can't even
So
say
there
is the
is-
Quran.
so-
You can't even tell me that's
Why
the
don't do
Quran.
you think it's Quran then? So here's
Told
the
me
problem.
earlier,
Here's
it
the
does not
problem.
matter what it is.
Supporters of terrorist organization Hamas is over there.
Madam.
Muslims are, especially the ones who are supporting such a terrorist organization, are terrorists. If they are supporting that terrorist organization, they are terrorists. That's what it is.
So you're
I am
calling Muslims
pointing out the ones who are supporting the terrorist organization. The ones who are supporting the
say?
terrorist
What does
organization
that say?
is terrorist.
What does that say,
Quran
madam?
Surah 8.
This is 2 days ago.
Allah causes terror.
Yeah, okay, I'll just-
His angels are causing terror. That's a terrorism. That's a terrorism. Can you imagine? In the 21st century, in the 21st century, you are identified as innocent or not innocent. How? If you follow Islam or not. If you follow Islam, apparently you are innocent. If you don't follow Islam, you are not innocent. Therefore, you should be. That's the mindset. Keep away from Islam. You've got to keep away from Islam. It is very much dangerous. People who voted for the terrorist
Can you lower the
organization.
volume? You're screaming.
No.
You're screaming. Just lower the
Then walk
volume.
away. Then walk away.
No, it's not an issue with that. It's just like why
Okay,
scream?
sir. Hold on.
You should stop
27.
You are in your 20s and you are quite okay for people to go out and then fight with the people who don't believe in Allah. I don't know what it is.
What are you talking about? Say that sentence again.
The verse you just
I'm
said.
okay with people...
and compassionately and ask Hatun to stop creating more terrorists.
When you're trying to work
more
towards
horrors
peace.
in this part. That's why
the whole
Hatun comes
group
here
of people
to
are
create
so believe
terrorists
for one
and
sentence
to
in a book.
I'm not condemning whole people. I'm condemning the religion teaches that.
Yes.
You think it's okay?
I think that...
I don't think it is okay.
You've
Why
highlighted
would you
one-
think it is okay?
Okay.
Tell me how, why do you think it's okay?
I think it's okay because nothing is perfect in this world, and you'll get nowhere if you complete perfection from anyone or anything.
Why do you think not taking the lowest of low blows against Muslims? You are 26 years old.
Yes.
Have you killed anyone? You are 26 years old. Have you killed anyone?
Because that's all Hatun.
Have you killed anyone?
I haven't.
I haven't killed anyone either. But I'm not perfect.
Have you eaten meat?
I am not.
Have you eaten
trying
meat?
to create more terrorists
What is it?
here
Have you eaten
in
meat
the
in your
UK.
life?
Yeah, I
and
have
across
So there are
the
levels,
I encourage
there are
people to
levels
eat
of
it.
murder,
So-
right? There are levels of sentient murder.
How is
You
this
know,
man
you
meant
know
to be
very well, in this verse, it's not
Christianity?
talking about the cows or the donkeys or the...
But you're condemning. You're
It's not talking
condemning.
about that.
Right.
I'm just trying to make sense of it.
I
You're
remember
26 years old.
How is that
And
relevant
you
for
think nothing is perfect and you haven't killed anyone. Okay? So you are not perfect, but you are okay to not kill anyone.
proving
So
my
I am
point.
not perfect. I haven't killed anyone. There is a teaching says you can kill people. And you justifying that it says that not everyone is perfect.
You're proving my point. You're
I'm not proving
by
your point.
saying.
I am saying it is wrong to kill people
Yes.
because of their belief.
I agree with you.
Then
But
why
to
do you think
condemn-
it is okay?
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not agreeing with that verse. I never have. The difference between me and you is I don't condemn a whole book or a whole religion for not standing up to complete perfection in my eyes. Do you see the difference?
Why do you think standing against the
Do you see the
murdering is
difference?
standing for the
Do you see the
perfection?
difference in what I just said? You didn't even respond to what I said.
I'm asking you a question to make sense of what you are saying because you are like a 26 years old melted cupcake. So it's not funny. It's not funny.
It's quite funny.
I think you already left Islam.
I'm not in Islam. No.
If you're Islam,
No,
if
no,
you're
no.
Muslim.
So listen and help me to make sense of it. Murdering someone is wrong. Agree? If there is a book called The Murder of People, what would you say about that book? Would you encourage people to follow the book?
Not if that's all the book was about. No, but that's not all the book's
Okay,
about.
what else in this book is about?
A lot more than that.
Tell me.
If it was just that, no one would be into it. I promise you.
Tell me.
No, I'm not going to quote you.
Okay, I'll
I'm
show
not-
you
You
something
know what
else.
is the worst thing in life?
I don't want to know your
killing.
perspective on the
I
worst
think
thing.
killing is the
Maybe,
worst thing in
right?
life.
Maybe, but name me a
the
religion that
only
hasn't
that
committed
verse-
a murder.
I think the only that
Religion.
verse.
So I'm not talking about
Right.
people doing crazy
What
things.
you're doing,
People
what
do
you're
crazy
doing,
things.
what
People
you're
are still
doing.
doing crazy things. I am questioning the religion. Why this religion is encouraging people to not do crazy things but do disgusting things. So I want you to read this verse.
Listen. Can you stop? Can you concentrate on the discussion?
I'm
rather than
concerned.
the
I
book?
want you to read this.
your point.
My conversation is about how this book is dangerous to humanity. How this book is giving birth to what Hamas
You
is
can
doing.
have that perspective. Sure, you're allowed to have that perspective, but you can't condemn a whole people because of.
I am condemning anyone who follows a book called Quran. Quran says husband to beat their wife, husband to their wife, marry a child who is not bleeding yet and divorce that child. People of the book because they don't
And I
believe
may
in
agree
Allah.
with you in a lot of ways. Fine.
May.
I may agree with you.
May
yeah,
or
I'm
you
being
are
neutral.
agree?
No, I am neutral in this. I don't
How
have.
can you be neutral?
Your neutrality doesn't help because this is a point of death. When worst comes to worst,
Are you guys all together? What's the situation?
She doesn't know me. I don't know. her. I'm watching her.
But are you a Christian?
But the thing is, when
Are you a
worst
Christian?
comes to worst, they will pull out these verses to
you
make
Christian?
sense. That's what ISIS
prove the
does.
point.
But the thing is, you saying that you don't have a neutral point to stand on.
Well, everyone's biased to an extent. I believe I'm pro-democracy, and I don't think Islam is aligned with
Our
democracy.
cupcake British
So
police
I'm
is just watching them.
anti-protected.
Our
I don't think
cupcake
murder
British
is the right
police.
way.
Yes,
But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go extreme as she is.
She's
saying
not
because
extreme.
there's-
She's pulling out the verses and
Yes,
reading it verbatim.
exactly.
That is not how is reading
tell
it
you how it's
verbatim
extreme.
extreme.
because it's not reading the whole thing. It's picking out certain
But we
pieces.
read the whole context, and then it says even furthermore that when on the hadith, when Muhammad says that the trees will testify that there's a Jew behind me to come and kill.
Fine,
Let me-
you can
have
pick
you
out
read-
verses. My point here is that you cannot condemn a whole group of people.
We're not condemning the people.
She
in
was.
Christianity,
I'm condemning
She
the
is.
religion.
She is.
In
I
Christianity,
told you I'm
in
condemning the
Christianity,
religion.
we're told to love
People
people.
who follow this book, people who follow this religion, making their way to
they say
hell
that I can
and
disagree.
destroying
What happens
humanity.
if they-
Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
What happens if they are themselves committing those atrocities?
Have you,
Right?
have you,
Jesus says
you are
Jesus
26 years old.
The Bible
I'm
says
assuming you
Jesus
already
says
read it, but I am asking you.
I'm what? I'm only what?
You are 26 years old.
Yes,
I am
what did you say after
assuming,
that?
I am assuming you already read it.
Already read it.
Read it, but I'm going to ask you. Okay, in case you didn't read
in the
it.
Bible.
God calls
No.
anger.
Have you read the
When God
Hamas
kills,
Charter?
it's not murder.
Yes. Okay.
God is God.
What is?
I'm about to agree with you. But carry on.
You are agree with that?
God is love.
I agree
Within
with
love,
what you're about to
justice.
say, yeah.
And there is.
can't
No,
just say.
I'm about to say.
Yes,
Tell me what I have to say.
You're going to tell me that they firstly haven't had an election and they have no. Oh, you want to talk about the charters?
They won the election.
2006, yeah, ages ago.
They
That's
won
not really
the
democracy, is
election.
it?
No, no, they
2006.
won the election. They won the election. They are
What you were going to talk
democratic.
about, you were going to talk about in their charter, their initial charter before they reformed it. Yeah. So this is what you were going to say, and you can acknowledge when I'm right. You were going to say that in their charter, they have written that they will only settle once they have the complete eradication of Israel itself as a state. Is that fair? And am I right?
That's not what I was going to say, but
Okay,
yes,
what were you
it's
gonna
one
say?
of the articles.
What were
It's
you
one
gonna
of the
say?
articles. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Are you okay with that article?
No, what did you want to say first?
Are you okay with that?
You're so proud, you won't even acknowledge when I'm right. Was I right or wrong?
No, I told you it is in one of the articles. Are you okay with that article?
I condemn Hamas in so many ways.
Don't think it's okay.
So are you okay with that article? or not?
Because it's not in the New
No, absolutely not.
No, you are not okay. Okay.
It's
So
not just that. I
remember
think
what you said.
that
You have to read for the
the fact that the state
I put you on your
is
license.
not focusing
Yes, because grace is the New Testament.
on its own people, right? And they go into another country, Israel, and kill people regardless of the consequences, which is essentially Israel firing back, right? And then imposing themselves more in Gaza. I think that that's short-sighted. So I can condemn Hamas for loads and loads of things over the last, the last decade or so. On top of that, I think that if there wasn't the Iron Dome in Israel, the amount of casualties within the region, right, but especially within Israel, would be tenfold, right, far higher than what's casualty list in Gaza. There's a lot of issues that I can bring to you that are balanced, that are reasonable, but I don't think you're being either of those when you bring up the Quran and you highlight someone's religion when we're talking about diplomatic, fiscal and political policies.
What do you want about?
I think the fact that it's an irreligious issue at the heart, the fact that the Jewish people are there, the Jewish state is there, Zionist state, whatever you want to call it, the fact that it's there on Jerusalem is essentially a religious reason, right? So I realise that religion is a big factor. But also the states around are generally religious as well, and their state is also, their legal system is based around Sharia law in a lot of cases. And you could scrutinise that and see how far that could take a society when you've got certain confines.
Let me bring up my question now. So you expressed that you read their charter.
Yes.
You expressed that you disagree with the article.
I didn't read it. I know highlighted parts. A bit like you in the Bible or whatever you want.
So you disagree with the parts where it is simply talking about the getting rid of the Jewish people? Do you read the article where it is expressing what is their motivation? Who is their example?
Who are you talking about? Can you just rephrase that?
Hamas charter.
Yeah.
In the Hamas charter, who is their
They did
example?
reform it, so you're talking about the earliest version, or the one that they reformed, which has
Who is
changed the
their,
wording.
who is the one they are taking example from?
Which version of the charter are you referring to? Because I think
It's
it's
in both
important
of
to
them, 1980. Let's go with 1980 and it's all in all of them.
1980. No, I think you've got to go with the most
It's in
recent
all of them.
one.
It's in that as well. So who is the example they are taking from?
Who is the example they're taking from? So, whose example are they taking?
Are they taking the example from what's your name, sir? Emmanuel? Are they taking example from Michael?
I believe-
Are they taking example from America?
Okay, do you know
Let me finish. Are they taking example from Ottomans? Are they taking example from Israel? Are they taking example from Mohammed?
Hamas themselves in their policies or their actions? Both. Who are they imitating?
I must finish.
I don't think you can draw
I gave you
any.
a couple of options.
Yeah, but I don't like to draw analogies.
No, you
or
read
comparisons.
it. So you read it in that.
I could compare it with a lot of regimes across the ages.
They express in that chart whom is their example. So what is the name in that chart?
ISIS, you're going to say or something, right?
I do not permit women
to
Muhammad.
Okay. Yeah.
You know who is Muhammad?
Yeah. One of their prophets, right?
Prophet of Islam.
Do you know the context?
Which God?
Wait, can I say one thing? Because I'm going to respond to one. Right? I thought you were going to say that at the beginning, but then you started going on about political movements, not idealistic. That's why I'm trying to define the difference between literal rhetoric and actions, right? You talked about state action, right? ISIS, you weren't talking about comparing portfolios or comparing manifestos.
You are seriously, please do forgive me for what I'm going to say, but you are seriously,
You need to be forgiven if I say it.
brainwashed very much. Islam doesn't make
And you're not.
distinction.
Okay.
I am brainwashed.
What are you wearing here?
and
Someone else's
hardwashed.
words, literally.
I am brainwashed and hardwashed by the blood of Lord Jesus Christ. So, in Islam, there is no distinction between politics or lifestyle. Islam is all about, okay? So therefore, it is really only people who are being brainwashed.
That is so short-sighted.
Really?
Yeah, that is so short-sighted. Quite lazy, actually. Yeah, lazy intellectually.
Justify that.
Why it's lazy? Because and why it's short-sighted? Well, it's short-sighted because you only look as far as you want to look, and it's lazy because I don't think you have the mental capacity. I would argue. Otherwise, why not do it? You don't have the mental capacity to go out there and actually find a nuanced perspective that incorporates more than one factor, more than one condemnation.
So if all the scholars of Islam is saying Islam is a way of life, they don't separate the state and religion.
If that was true, if that was true, there would be one. I'm not crying. I'm arguing.
Let me finish.
Right.
So if all scholars are saying that, if the best example to humanity, Muhammad is stating that, then why should I not follow them but say, oh, I'm going to follow 20% to 26
I've got the answers for you. Here we go. How many Muhammads were there?
As a
In the book,
prophet,
yeah. How many? There's one, right, that they look up to in that sense, right?
Yes, peace is
Right.
policy.
So there's one of them.
Translation,
How come there are so many different variations of interpretations and different states? It's not like
which
all.
variation?
Okay, no wait.
Which variation
Finish.
separates Islam as the not whole life of faith?
They all. If your argument.
Can I say something?
No, but can I say?
Do you know anything about Islam?
Yes, I do.
What is it
you know.
Yes, I know a little bit.
Yes, you know.
I know what I do know.
But you don't say.
You're gonna interrupt her and help
No,
her
no, I'm
out
not interrupting.
because I've actually got an argument that she cannot refute. Here it is. This is it. If your interpretation was correct, that they are interpreting a piece of text, that is so unilaterally and individually set, right? That all, the consequence of that would be that they all act the same, and yet all of these religious states that follow the same piece of text, right, take a subjective view on it. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your idea that it's one word for all is not true.
Let me respond. I am sorry to hear from you.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't really know anything about Islam. There is a division within Islam, not because they believe Islam is not the way of life. So the Islam teaches, it's very cool. State and
When you say Islam,
listen to me.
there are so many interpretations.
Listen to me. I'm just helping you out. Okay? It is free lessons. You don't need to even come to my classes. So
How much you charge just out of interest?
it is the way of life.
You're gonna pay me for coming?
It is the way of life. So there is lots of different groups, not because they disagree that Islam is the way of life fully, but they disagree how they need to wash their feet. When do they need to wash themselves? Before or after sex? They disagree. Who is the one who come after Muhammad? They killed one another for that. It is not because they disagree that Muhammad is not the best example. It is not because they disagree that state and Islam is the way of life. It's not that. They disagree because, when do they need to have sex? After the sex, do they need to wash themselves, or do they need to wash themselves before the sex? Or does woman can have a sex before having shower, after her period, or she needs to wait? They disagree with Ali or Umar. Those are the things they disagree. It is not Islam the way of the life. No, they don't disagree on Surah 9 verse 29. I am sorry, but if you even go to the very radical Muslims who says they've been married with you 9 years old, they will still debunk you, even though you are trying to defend them. And when Islam comes here, me and then you and then him, we will be all on the line for you to say goodbye to your head. So,
are you done?
No, I haven't done. I'm going to ask you my question now. Would you have a problem? Okay. Would you have a problem if there is a teaching says the day of judgment is not going to come until every Jewish is being killed?
Are you Jewish?
I'm not Jewish.
You're not.
No. Are you Jewish? No. No. So would you have a problem with that? It doesn't mean like I cannot concern for other people. Would you have a problem with that?
No, is every Muslim acting that out?
That's not my question.
No, but I think it's important.
No. So,
You're arguing
remind
about...
me.
I think the motive is important.
No.
What
So,
motive?
remind me.
Motive for what?
Just a moment. Remind me.
Motive for an action. Motive means a motivator, right? If there's no action, why are we discussing the motive?
So I'm going to ask you something. What's your name?
Every Muslim doing it?
So, just
What kind
a
of
second. No,
percentage
just a
is that?
second. Just a second. How many people were on plane to 9/11?
How many people died?
No. How many people attacked the building?
No one knows for sure, but I think it's about 4 or 5 per plane.
Okay, let's be generous, say 20. Let's be generous and then say 20.
You're focusing on 9/11 as an example.
Just one example. So it's only 20 people. It's only 20 people who took their scripture seriously. And then how many lives has been lost? Let's say 3,000. Okay? It took only one person to get upset and then kill a teacher in France. It caused only one person, one student to be upset and then put their teacher hiding in behind the doors. It's not about one person or all of people or how many percentage of it. You made a case, how many people take it seriously. I am making a case. Doesn't matter how many people take it seriously. Even if it is one person causing the death of other person.
Have you got 2 mics? Let me have a mic so
I
they
got
can hear me.
one. You can catch the sound. They are different. They are
I know, but
different cameras.
have you got more than one? I may as
They
well
are
have one.
different. They are different cameras. Go and ask me. It's cameras.
It's reach. It's reach.
Can I read your thing? Is it? Is that Charlie Hebdo? Is it? Is it? Charlie
It's
Hebdo?
not Charlie Hebdo.
What is
This is
that?
Charlie Hebdo. That's Charlie.
Why are you so anti-Islam? I'm asking you why you are.
Okay, thank you for asking that. I am anti-Islam. It is very dangerous ideology. Just turn on the news and then check what Hamas is doing as following Islam. I am anti-Islam because Islam orders husband to beat their wife. I am Islam orders husband to beat their wife.
Disobeys you, right?
I am anti-Islam because Islam orders husband can rape their wife. I am anti-Islam because Islam says you can divorce a child who is not bleeding after you have sex with her. I am anti-Islam.
Say again. Say that one again.
You are divorcing a child who is not bleeding yet after you have sex with her. I am anti-Islam because Islam orders killing Jews and Christians. I am anti-Islam because Islam offers slavery for eternity. I am anti-Islam because Islam orders, Islam says women are deficient in their mind. Therefore, majority of women are going to go to hell. I am anti-Islam because Islam hates people of the color. I am anti-Islam because followers of Islam
I'm
put
not
the
sure that
life
last
of...
one was correct. I think it's accepting of different religions. The hatred of different colours.
What does Islam teach about black people?
I am telling you.
So did Churchill, by the way, but carry on.
If anyone calls Muhammad black, they should. Black people are the reason heads and then it all goes on. I am anti-Islam because Islam takes people to hell. I am anti-Islam because followers of Islam calling extremism.